Good evening, guys. Welcome to DurgaSoft. As this is our first demo, right? On MySQL, of course. So first,
Yes.
let me just yes, Prashant. So before getting first, just let me just introduce myself. After that, we will just maybe I'll will give me a little bit introduction of about yourselves. Okay. So me, I'm Divya. I'm having about 8+ years of experience. I on data science. So I'm currently working as a senior data analyst for one of the MNCs in Hyderabad. I completed my master's in data science and I have experience in teaching subjects like MySQL. Sorry. So yeah, what I'm saying. So I'm having experience in teaching subjects like MySQL, Tableau, Power BI, Python, statistics, and machine learning. So yeah, this is about me. I can say this is a course of MySQL. So as you know, this course duration is 35,000, and going forward, I will show you the course content also. Okay. So this is about me, and before starting or before going forward, I would like to know a little bit about you. Like, please give me a little bit introduction about you. Like, are you from which domain, and do you have already working experience? Are you working anywhere? Are you student, or do you have already knowledge on SQL, something like that?
Yeah, hi Divya ma'am. This is Prashant Chogle.
Okay.
I'm from Maharashtra. I completed my graduation in mechanical engineering, and currently I'm working as IT professional. My current role is software tester.
Okay.
That's it about me.
Okay. Okay. Fine. I got it. Hi, Prashant. So you are just trying to learn about SQL.
Yeah.
All right. I got it. So yeah.
Hey, hi Divya. Myself
Hi.
Ganesh. I am from Andhra Pradesh. I'm working on the one of the MNC company. My role is
Okay.
ETL developer.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Ganesh. Yes,
Yeah,
Pooja.
this is Pooja speaking. I'm currently based out of Hyderabad, but currently living in United States. I completed two different masters, but I would like to gain more experience into SQL. So that's what I'm looking forward. I'm currently working as a human resource data analyst.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
All right, Pooja. Thank you. So anyone else? Hakim, Prashant.
Yeah, hi Divya.
Yes.
This is
Hi.
Sakim. I am doing my master's in United States. So
So do you also have some basic knowledge on SQL, Hakim?
yeah, I have some knowledge
Of
regarding
course.
SQL.
Of course. Yes. All right. Okay. And Prashant, Kamble. Two Prashants are there here. And Shushavan, are you the one? Or
Yeah, ma'am. Actually, I'm back to India now, so I have forgotten everything. So I want to join this batch. I'll pay and I'll join this batch once again.
SQL again? Okay, Shushavan, you are welcome. All right.
Thanks, ma'am.
Yeah. So yes. All right. I'm just asking you about yourself, just like that. So of course, in each of my batch, almost I will get already experienced professionals only, because we know that SQL is very important for whatever domain it is. It may be data science, or it may be full stack, whatever it is, wherever you go, whatever the job role is, SQL is a kind of you know I can say it is a backbone of complete IT industry, right? We should have a knowledge on, and again, we should have a sound knowledge on SQL, and so many professionals will again come back to brush up their skills and to become more perfect or more professional in SQL. So in that point of view only, we also designed our own course content. Okay, and So let me just first show you my course content, and then I'll give you a small demo on so small understanding about what is SQL, and we will going forward we will learn each and every concepts. Okay, here first of all in my course, along with all the course content or all the main concepts, I will use a database, a real-time database here called as movies database, I can say. By using that particular database data only, I will explain each and every concept, because of course the concepts, the way of explanation will be the same, but instead of using normal employees table or normal tables like any 4 5 rows kind of table, we should have practice or we should have some hands-on experience in using real-time database, because we know in real time we will deal with big data. If while learning itself, if we are practicing by using some kind of big data, we will, I mean, again the concepts are same, of course you can apply the same syntaxes for any table, but if we are dealing with a kind of you know real time data or big data, it will boost our energy, it will boost our confidence, and it will give some kind of hands on experience in learning and in practicing every concepts of SQL, right? So yeah, this is my course content. First, introduction of databases and SQL. Next, limitations of Excel. I hope my screen is visible. Yes.
Yes, yes,
So
ma'am.
yeah, thank you. Introduction first. Next, limitations of Excel. Basically, we all know why we will use SQL, right? SQL is nothing but structured query language we will use to store the data, and of course we are having so many use cases. uh, Maybe let me just complete the course content, and we will learn or we will understand very detailedly about each of these things. So the course content is limitations of Excel. After that, creation of database and tables. Next, MySQL installation. The tool which we are using here is MySQL. Okay, so what is SQL? What are all the tools are available? What is the importance of MySQL? Also, detailedly we will explain in today's class itself. Okay, so here we are using MySQL tool. So I'll show you the installation process of MySQL, data types in SQL, SQL commands or sub languages. Basically, we will have some sub languages in SQL. Those are all these types: DDL, DML, DCL, TCL, and DQL. In each of this sub language, we will have some commands. So we will learn each and every command detailedly. Next, integrity constraints. We have some concepts, as mostly most of you are already having some basic knowledge on SQL. You might already know about these commands, some of these commands, and integrity constraints topic also, like primary key, foreign key, not null key, like that. Whatever keys we are having, those all concepts will cover under integrity constraints. Next, up to here I will discuss, this is a very basic concepts. So up to here I'll discuss by using normal tables. Maybe it may be employees table, it may be departments table, like that. Just to first get the, first we need to get an hands-on experience, or first we need to understand the user interface of MySQL. This is just about creating the tables and the basic things, so we will use some basic tables here. Once we are done with these concepts, I will show you about the real-time database which we are working. I will give you this database, I will show you how we will restore this database in your data, in your tools, and then we will start the main concepts, that is where clause, order by clause, SQL basic operators. These are some clauses which we have. Next we will have some operators like or, and, not, and range operator, membership operator, like that. This actually, SQL clauses and operators is one such concept which will be related to each other. Okay, so I will teach both this, I mean this, both clauses and operators concepts together. So we will have some clauses like where clause, order by clause, distinct clause, limit clause, and we will have some operators, between operator, membership operator, like operator. In like operator, we will have some wildcards, which by using which we will understand, how to search some pattern of the data, like that. We will learn each and every each and every concepts again by using this movies database. along with the examples only I will explain. Okay, next concept is functions. In that we'll have some types of functions: numerical, character, date, and aggregate. Each of these functions we will learn very detailed. Okay, and next from here the main concepts will start. Of course, this operators and clauses also important concept. Next, joins is, I believe, almost 90% of the work is done by using joins, right? In SQL, if you are attending any interviews also, mostly they will concentrate on joins concept. So particularly what in, of course, in the complete course content, every concept we will focus and we will discuss with the examples, but on joins concept we will solve many examples. We will learn each type of join very you know very deeply, like in a join, left join, right join, outer join, and we are having three more joins. Each and every join we will discuss. Along with that, once we are done with joins, I'll give some assignment questions on joins concept, so that it is kind of a practice questions. Maybe few questions will there. It will help you to just practice and just let you know how much you can able to how much capable you are to solve those concepts like that. Okay, and the next important concept is regular expressions. We have some anchors in regular expression. If again, not only data science, in data science, if you are planning for data analysis, this like operator, whatever we saw, we in like operator and regular expressions, these both concepts are used for pattern matching. By using these concepts, we will just try to display the data which by based on some particular patterns. This is a very important concept in for data analytics and data science, I can say. Again, for full stack and Java developers also will use regular expressions. So we will discuss detailedly by using some examples about this concept. Okay, so next we are having group by clause, having clause, and aggregations in group by. This is one of the again important concepts. Next, subqueries. Okay, in subqueries we are having correlated and non-correlated subqueries. Next, normalizations, denormalization, normal forms. Okay, this is a kind of theory concept only. So next, ER diagrams, views, index, temporary tables, CTEs, that is common table expressions, store procedures, and window functions. We are having some window functions, and yeah, this is about the course content. Once we are done with all this course content, we will discuss some important interview questions. So this is about the course content which we are going to learn. These are all the topics which we are going to learn. Almost every topic is getting covered along with the real-time database. Okay. So and any questions, guys, on the course content?
No, ma'am. It's clear.
Okay,
I have a
perfect.
question.
Yes, please.
Ma'am, I just wanted to know that as a software tester, I'm using these concepts. So will it differ, or all these concepts will be needed for a software tester to learn those things, or some of the concepts will be excluded for software tester? Is it?
In software tester, maybe some concepts like regular expressions, that some concepts will is not that needed, but most of the concepts is also used in software testing also. Obviously, we will also deal with the data, and each and every remaining all concepts you will, if you are talking about only testing field, are you talking about only that field?
Yes, yes. Particularly needed for that one only. Yeah.
Yeah, most of the concepts are needed for tester also. Some concepts, as you said, maybe that you can exclude. Maybe some concepts like regular expressions like operator subqueries, maybe some concepts are is not that necessary for you, but remaining concepts, most of the concepts, 70% of the concepts are needed for you. Okay, and but if you learn each and every concept of this with examples kind of thing, you will get some sound knowledge, and you will I can say we will become, once we instead of learning syntaxes, only syntaxes and understanding the concept, if we learn all the concepts by using some examples, that to real time examples, we will become pro in SQL. So that will be helpful for your career. And again, if you come across, if there is a need for switching your domain or any role also, that remaining concepts will also be useful for you, like that.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, but most of the concepts will be helpful. Okay, so yes, I'll give you the introduction of what is maybe SQL and everything. But before that, before getting into the demo sessions, as I said, we will what do you call? So we will use MySQL, right? This is MySQL Workbench. In tomorrow's class, in tomorrow's demo, I will show you the user interface of MySQL. So just in today's class, I wanted to show you maybe the no, not the real-time database also. I only wanted to show you, one second. The way of my explanation, as I said, on any of the concepts, I will use movies database, okay, which is a kind of a real-time database. We can think it as a kind of Netflix or any OTT kind of database, or else any kind of if we store any thing in a physical, if maybe if we store any DVDs in a physical store, like that, that is a kind of real-time database in which we'll have multiple tables. And each and every concept going forward, we will learn by using this database along with the examples. So like this, I won't believe in sharing some kind of theory kinds of notes. So from today, I mean, whenever you get registered, this course duration is of 35 days, and as you know, the course fees is of 3000. One, we will be first, once we are done with the demo classes, we will start our new actual concepts. So from there, from the day you get registered, you will get 6 months access for the videos, okay, or the daily videos like regular classes which you are attending. If any one day if you didn't attend also, you can watch the video, and again you can access that videos up to 6 months. Along with that, I will upload notes for you. I won't believe in giving theory notes. So whatever every concept I'll teach, in like this only I will share the SQL files for you. Okay, so here only you will have the theory part, here only you will have the along with the examples like this. If there is any theory, I will give you the theory part. Along with that, at the bottom I will give you some examples and syntaxes, so that in one file itself, whenever you are referring, whenever you are it will be easy for you to revise or to learn, right? In one place, in one file, you will have the theory part along with the examples, all the syntaxes, everything. So I'll upload, or I'll give this as a notes. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
so that is about it. So let's try to understand about what is SQL. So as we know, SQL is, if the technical, if we talk really technically, if I wanted to explain the full form of SQL, we know that it is nothing but structured query language, right? SQL is nothing but structured query language. So most of you are from IT background only, right? So I think, all right. Let me again explain what is. Let's discuss everything very detailedly from scratch. So yes, Prashant, that is what I'm about to say. Okay, what is the difference between SQL and MySQL? Okay, so here, first of all, let's just for 5 minutes at least, we will just try to talk about the importance of SQL nowadays. Okay, so okay, just to explain you, mostly you all know that what is the importance or why we need databases kind of thing, right? Because we know nowadays, uh, everyone, everything is we are using on whatever we use, everything is all about the data, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Nowadays, or not nowadays, from last few years also, data became so important for us. We are generating data a lot, correct? Data generation has increased a lot. Maybe the reasons behind that is, I can say, digitalization, right? Nowadays we are using lots of apps we know that how we got addicted for using some kind of applications in our phones. Everyone are using smartphones, and whenever we started using these kind of applications, maybe any kind of social media applications like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or any kind of everything, whatever we are doing, especially from that time of demonetization, we started using digital payments, right? We started using phone pays, paytms, a kind of thing. And even from the whenever we got covid, from the covid pandemic time, we started depending more on the internet, correct? We started using many OTT platforms. As we all know, what are all the OTT platforms we will use, like Netflix, Hotstar, whatever it is. We started doing online shopping. We started using many e-commerce websites like Amazon, Flipkart, correct? So even we are, so many of us are doing work from homes. And even if we talk about today's session, we are connecting online to learn something, right? Even education also, everything became online, correct? So actually by doing all these things, we are generating lots of data. Whatever applications we are using in our smartphones, or whatever doing we are doing with the internet, everything is storing in the form of data only, correct? So for example, let's talk about any of the application. Okay, so if you remember, whenever, suppose, imagine that we all will have our own Gmail accounts, right? So if you remember, whenever you are registering with the Gmail accounts, or whenever you are first time signing up with the Gmail accounts, we need to give some information to them, right? Maybe we will give some information like our name. Along with that name, we need to give the mobile number, we need to give gender, we need to give age, correct? We need to give all these details, and then we need to create our own account, correct? So what's happening whenever we are using in our phones also, whenever we are installing some applications, whenever we are using that applications, what is happening here? By knowingly or unknowingly, we are giving permissions to that applications to use our data, right? So all our data is basically is storing with all these applications. Okay, suppose whenever you install any application, whether it may be any kind of Amazon kind of things, any kind of e-commerce website, normal applications, once you install that application, we will accept, we will click some accept buttons, right? At that time, by default, we are giving that applications, we are giving permissions to that applications to access our data. Like maybe we will, whenever we are using, whenever we are signing up in maybe Amazon or whatever it is, we will use either our mail ID or our phone number, correct? So by default, our phone number, our mail ID, and the remaining details which we gave whenever we are signing up to the Gmail, all these details will store in the Gmail's database, right? And whenever we are using the same mail ID or the same mobile number, that in any other applications also, once we are accepting their agreements, we are giving them permissions to access all those data from that database, that Google's database. Like that, even we will have our own national cards also, maybe PAN cards, other cards, or driving licenses. Like that, everything, everywhere data is involving, right? All the data will be connected, and whatever we will do, everywhere we are giving permissions to use our data, right? Not only that, not only the using of this, maybe using of banking applications, whatever it is, whenever we are doing something, some data is generating. Okay, so as we are generating this much of data, we need to have some good systems to store our data, right? Previously, what it used to happen whenever we are working somewhere, or whenever before computers came into existence, uh, we used to save data in the form of files, right? All kind of paperwork used to happen. After that, maybe some, you know, just imagine when computers came into existence, what they did, instead of doing the paperwork, they started, entering the data, or they started, storing the data in the form of computers. In the computers, maybe they use some text files, and maybe they use some excel files, and they store the data in the forms of computers, right? Likewise, eventually, how many years and years, how the revolutions are coming into existence. Previously, we used to have the everything used to have man-made, and then some machines came into existence. Then maybe we use some paperwork, we used to save all our data in the files. Then we are saving all our data in the computers. Then once internet came into existence, when once the world is started depending upon the internet, eventually the data generation is increased. And of course, from the recent years, maybe from last 10 years, we all are depending completely on the internet. Like that, how technologies are coming forward, how revolutions are coming forward, like that much of data is being increased. Now currently, maybe we are in the generation of robots and AIs, right? So, how much technology is being improved, that much of data generation is getting, I mean, that much of data we are generating. So after internets, or maybe just now I gave you some examples of applications. By using all those things, we are generating data, correct? So that much of big data we cannot store in normal text files or Excel files. As the data generation is getting, increasing day by day a lot, as we are generating lots of data, obviously there should be some good systems. We should have some, uh, best system to store and maintain our data, right? That is nothing but databases. Okay, we have one concept called as database. We have one term called as SQL and database. Database is nothing but, if you want me to tell technical definition of database, I can say collection of data. Okay, actually, as how we are storing our data in the form of text files or Excel files, in the same way we will store the data in the form of databases. Okay, it is a collection of data. Collectively, if we store data in the form, if we wanted to store the data collectively in some place, that is nothing but a database. Okay, here in databases we can store uh, a big data, because in Excel files we'll have some limitations. We will discuss that going forward. And whatever limitations we are having, suppose you can ask me, if we can able to store the data in text files and Excel files, we should know why databases came into existence, right? Because obviously there will be some limitations in them. Just to get rid of that limitation, to overcome from that limitations, databases concept came into existence. Here database is also nothing but the place where we will store the data collectively. If we are storing some data in one place, that is nothing but a database. Okay, we all, almost everyone here might know about these things, correct? So now database is nothing but collection of data where we will store data. And SQL is nothing but, as I said, the definition is structured query language, right? But what is exactly SQL will do, in the sense, SQL is used to communicate with the database. Okay, so let me take one simple example here just to explain you very clearly, so that you will understand. Someone asked me about, explain the difference between what is SQL and MySQL. Maybe with this example I can able to convey the concept very clearly for you. Okay, so suppose I said previously we used to store the data in the form of some text files, like that. Okay, so let me take one simple example. Suppose there is some school or there is some college. Okay, in that school or college, suppose let's talk about any school. There is one school, okay. In that school there is some class, something like 10th A, 10th B, like that. We will talk about 10th class, and imagine that there are two sections in it, okay. So in each section, as we know, usually in our schooling days also, what it used to be, they used to maintain one register, right? They used to maintain one register. In that register, maybe imagine here also we are talking about some 10th class, and they're having two sections, and in each of this section they are maintaining one register. In that register they are maintaining students data, okay. Maybe student ID, that is roll number, or maybe a student name, okay. Maybe their attendance or their marks, kind of thing, okay. Some data, just to store some data, they are using registers, okay. So if the concept is this, if they are storing the data in the form of registers, form register in the sense, obviously we can imagine that as a kind of Excel or text file kind of thing. Normally here, understand that we are storing in some kind of books or paperwork, okay. Whenever we are storing the things in the kind of books or paperwork, that is a kind of register. The concept is this one. In that, in one school, in one section, they used to store the students data in the form of register, where in this register they will use some data, maybe student ID, student name, their age, marks, kind of thing, and all the data is inserted here manually by their uh, teacher, okay. So one day what happened, their principal wanted to check the performance of, okay, principal wanted to check the performance of their student, okay. At that time what he did, maybe he called any one of his attender, and he asked his attender to go to the section, particular section A, and bring the register for him, so that he can analyze, about their students, how many students are attending regularly, how many students are getting, something like that. Whatever student want, that principal wanted to check, he that he can analyze. Just to analyze, he called his attender, and he said to his attender to just go to 10th A section and bring that register. So then this attender, he went there and he brought the register and gave back to the principal, so that by that principal he can see the data and he can understand what he wanted to see, he can analyze, okay. This is the normal scenario if we store the data. So if we take the same example, and if let's try to understand, suppose the same example, instead of registers, instead of some papers like books kind of registers kind of thing, if I'm talking about a big university, and if I am started talking about, if this same university, same school, something like that, instead of registers, if they store the data in the form of databases, how it will, how the scenario will be, okay. So instead of registers, here they will create one database, okay. Let me use any another thing. Instead of registers, they will create a database, okay. Suppose for the school, as they have 10th A, that 10th A details is stored in a register. In the register, they entered all the details. So, like that, for this particular school, they will maintain one database, and inside the database, they will create tables. And that table database is one large thing where they will they can able to store the data in the collective data, where they can able to store in that database. They will create tables for each and every, maybe every class and every section. So one table they will create for 10th A. So database is a place where we will store all the data collectively, okay. And tables is something which we will create inside the database, and inside the tables we will create, or we will insert some data. Suppose for 10th A also they created a table called as 10A, okay. And in 10A, inside the tables, we will usually in tables, whenever we will create tables in the form of rows and columns, okay. So this one we will see whenever we are understanding about creating the table. I will say we will discuss detail about it. So just imagine, they inside the database they created table. Inside the table they created, that is the database will be schools database. Inside the schools database they created a separate table for 10th A. Okay, how they used to save a register, in that register how they saved the data, in this table also they saved that students data, maybe student id, student name, like that whatever data is there they stored. Okay, so here when principal wanted to analyze this data to understand the data of the students, he called the attender and he said to attender to bring that register. So the same concept here. Here whenever, suppose if this storing the data in the form of databases, whenever principal wanted to analyze students data, so however he said to attender, whenever he communicating with the attender, he might use some language, right? Maybe English, Hindi, according to that regional language, whatever it is, he might use some language. So with that language only, this attender came to understand, that attender will understand what is this principal's requirement. Maybe he said to attender, go and bring the register of 10th A. At that time only he will understand, he will go to 10th A and he will bring the register and give back to the principal. In the same way, whenever principal wanted to analyze the data which is there in the database, he used to use one language called as SQL. SQL is a language which is used to communicate with the database. That is what the definition of SQL is. Okay. So if we store the data in the form of databases, whenever we want to analyze something, definitely there should be something in between which helps us to communicate with the database. That is nothing but SQL. SQL is one language. We will use SQL here. So by using SQL, we will just try to communicate with these databases, tables, everything, whatever is there inside the database. To communicate with the database, we will use this language. So accordingly, whatever our requirement is, whatever he want to analyze, whatever we want to analyze or principal want to analyze, by using the SQL, in SQL we will have so many concepts. By using that particular syntaxes, we will try to communicate our need, our requirement to the database, and accordingly we will get our results. Am I clear about what is database and what is SQL with this example?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. Almost everyone knows what is database and what is SQL, but just if we relate this kind of, if we relate this concepts with some small examples like this, we will remember it forever very perfectly, right? That is the reason of explaining this example. So this is about database and this is about SQL here. SQL is basically, let me clear everything. So by using SQL, we are just trying to communicate with the database. Okay. This is about SQL. Next, in SQL, basically I said we will store the data in the form of tables, right? For example, if we want to create an employees table, this employees will be my table name. Suppose if I am using employee ID, employee name, salary, date of joining. Okay. If I am using this column names here, if I want to save this data, this table employees will be my table, whatever I'm writing here. As I said, we will store tables, I mean inside the database. First database will be there. We need to create the database. Inside the database we need to create tables, and whenever we are inserting the data in the tables, we will insert the data in the form of rows and columns, right? So horizontal part is called as row, vertical part is called as column. So obviously in this employees table, employee ID, employee name, salary and date of joining will become our column names. Inside this we will enter some data. Okay. Something like this. Anything randomly I'm entering. Like this, if I entered some data, this will be my row, right? This will be my first row of data. Next, whatever I enter, that will be my second row of data, like that. And this will be my column, employee ID column, employee name column, like that. Okay. So we will discuss very detailedly whenever we are understanding about create syntax over there. Okay. So we'll have something called as data types concept also. We will see detailedly about this at that particular time. So first we need to create database. Inside we need to create tables, and in that tables we will insert the data. Okay. So again, what is MySQL and what is this all these things in the sense? First, let me give you an clear understanding about something called as RDBMS. Okay, so we are just now we understood about databases, we understood about tables, right? So we have one concept called as database management system. That is nothing but as we will store our data in the forms of databases. So to maintain this, obviously we will have something called as database management system, where by using some concepts we will maintain the databases very in a perfect way. Going forward we will learn each and every concept in detail. So for now just try to understand. We are talking about something called as database management system. So here we have one term called as RDBMS, that is nothing but relational database management system. Okay, so what is RDBMS in the sense? As I said, in database, we will store data in the form of tables, right? So as we are storing data in the form of tables, and here all the tables will be related to each other. If our tables are related to each other, we will call that as RDBMS. Okay, here suppose I'm having the employees table. Suppose if I have some related table kind of departments table, if I am using relationship between these two tables, employees table and departments table, if I am creating tables in such a way that if I am maintaining database management system in such a way that if I am creating a relationship between the tables, that when we will consider it as RDBMS, relational database management system. That means if our tables are connected to each other in database, we will consider that as an RDBMS. Okay, so all the SQL concepts, SQL, structured query language, is one such language. All the concepts involved in SQL comes under RDBMS. Okay, and there is something called as
It
no
means
SQL.
there is a relation between each and every table, right?
Yeah, I mean, no, it's not. Of course, each and every table there will be some relation. Maybe one table we don't have. I mean, for every table, not related to all the tables, but almost in database, whatever tables we are creating, there will be that all the tables will be related with each other in some way. Okay,
Yeah.
like table 1 will be related to table 2, table 2 will be related to table 4, again table 3 is got related with some other along, like that all the tables will be related to each other. Okay, so if we are creating relations like that, if we are using some databases where we are having some tables are connected with each other, related with each other, that when we will call it as RDBMS. Okay, and SQL, all whatever we are learning in this course, that is SQL, all the concepts which I just shown you in the course content just now, all those concepts belongs to SQL. Okay, and we have something called as no SQL also in real time. Okay, no SQL in the sense, again we will, if there is no relationship between the tables, that will come under no SQL. If the tables are related to each other, we will use SQL concepts. If the tables are, I mean, in no SQL, just like SQL, we are having something called as no SQL. In no SQL, we will store data in the form of tables only, but their tables will not be related to each other. Okay, so basically we are having these two types or two kinds of SQLs, I can say, SQL and no SQL. So all the tools, almost all the tools which we are using nowadays, or from all the tools, again as I said, we have something called as SQL and NoSQL. This is SQL is a universal declared language. Okay, SQL is one such language, as I said, we will use to communicate with the database universally. uh, S- SQL is a universal declared language, that is one language. What we will have some concepts, by using that concepts we will use SQL. That is, I can say universally all the companies everywhere, all the databases accepted some language together. That is nothing but SQL. I mean, SQL is again a universal declared language. All the concepts comes under SQL only again. But to use this language, to use this concept, we need to use some different tools. Okay, we have in as we know, we have so many companies in so many companies in the industry. From some companies we got some tools. SQL is one such language, that is a common language, universal declared language, which is used to communicate with the database. Okay, but to use this language have we need to take help of some tools. Okay, like maybe we have some products, we know that we have some companies, maybe Oracle. From Oracle we are having, previously we used to have Oracle SQL. Okay, and this is a product from this company, and likewise now whatever we are discussing, that is MySQL. MySQL is also a product from Oracle. Okay, next we have one more company called as Microsoft, like that. Sorry. So like that we are having so many companies in the market, right? So each company is having their own tools. Okay, so all these tools are used basically to deal with SQL only. SQL is a normal, universal declared language. All the concepts which we are learn is going to, all the concepts will be from SQL only. We will use these tools just to use this language. The concepts will be same, the usage will be different. That's it. So from Microsoft we will have something called as SQL Server. Like that we are having so many tools in the market: Oracle SQL, MySQL, SQL Server, PostgreSQL. Like that we are having so many tools. Uh, when if I talk about NoSQL, we are having something called as MongoDB. Okay, you might heard about all these things, all these words, right? Basically these are all the tools which we have. Okay, we won't concentrate on NoSQL nowadays. They are having so many drawbacks, and slowly NoSQL usage is also it is also being avoided by the companies. SQL is all time, every time, going from, starting from the where databases came into existence, from now and in future also. Obviously, we will use SQL only, because if the tables are related with each other only, we can retrieve the data very easily, and there are so many concepts involved in it. So obviously we will use SQL only. All the companies also, mostly we are not mostly, we know that all the companies are using SQL to maintain their databases, right? So this whatever I'm talking about, these are just the tools which we will use to deal with this particular SQL language. This learning this language is important. Whatever course content I shown you, that all concepts comes under SQL only. Just to learn all concepts, either we can use Oracle SQL, MySQL, SQL Server, PostgreSQL, like that. Whatever tool is, the tool will be different. A little bit of difference will be there between these tools, but the concepts are same. Okay, so here in our course we are going to use MySQL tool to learn the SQL. Okay, and the reason why I'm choosing MySQL, in the sense that is an open source platform. Open source platform in the sense, to maintain these databases for any company, whether it is a small startup, whether it is a big company, whatever it is, to maintain any database, obviously that companies used to pay, should pay some amount to that, to get the licenses, something like that. Okay, suppose to use Oracle SQL, any company should pay some amount to Oracle. To use SQL Server, to that particular companies should pay some amount to Microsoft. Like that, just to use these tools, all the companies used to pay some amount to this, as this is the product of this company, they that so all the small scale companies or remaining companies, whatever it is, all the companies, to use this database, they should pay some amount to use this products. Okay, but MySQL, is an open source platform, that is, it is freely available for everyone, anyone. Okay, MySQL is freely available. To maintain MySQL, whether it is a small company or a big company, no need of paying any amount to Oracle. They can freely use MySQL. That is an open source platform. Okay, so for this reason, as something is available for us freely, and again there is no, even we are having so many better features when compared to the other things. Whenever in detail going forward, we are having two special features which is, you know, which will keep MySQL in a, I can say maybe one feature is called as safe updates, that one, and the another one is about clustered index. Going forward, whenever we are discussing, at that time I will explain you the importance of that features in MySQL. So there are some features in MySQL which is again helping to create, to keep the MySQL in a unique way. For because of the open source platform and because of those features, MySQL is being used by many of the companies nowadays. Right, this is a tool which they use mostly. You can observe anywhere, in especially, even you can see, either you can see MySQL or SQL Server mostly in job descriptions also, right? And MySQL is using a lot by most of the companies. That is the reason we are using MySQL tool to learn SQL. Again, SQL Server also, whatever concepts we are going to learn, all those concepts we can use, all those concepts you can apply in SQL Server also. Okay, only very small differences will be there. Whenever I am explaining, I will tell that small differences also. So once you listen to my course, once you learn this course, you can able to use MySQL, you can able to use SQL Server, Oracle SQL, like this. All those things are almost same, only small differences. Okay, so this is about SQL and MySQL. I hope I'm clear. If you have any doubts, you can just ask me, guys.
It's clear, ma'am, for me.
Great. So I hope whatever I said till now, the basic understanding, this is, as this is our first demo, I just try to show you the course content which we are going to follow going forward. And I just thought you to give a small understanding, basic understanding about what is database, what is SQL, what is MySQL, kind of thing. So I hope I'm clear till here. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. And if you wanted to know anything about, if you have any doubts about this course, or if you have anything else, you can ask me. In tomorrow's class, I will show you the user interface of MySQL, and we will start creating our database, first database and tables, like that going forward. I mean, we will learn each and every concept very clearly. In the meanwhile, I will try to explain. I mean, maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow, we will discuss about the limitations of Excel also. Okay. As you can see, the first concept is, after introduction, you can see limitations of Excel is also there, right? Because we need to understand what is the need of databases, why database is important. Just a small concept, what are all the limitations we have in Excel, and how we are overcoming that limitations by using a database, just for the knowledge purpose. And maybe tomorrow I'll show you the user interface of SQL, and we will start working each and every concepts very practically from tomorrow. Okay, and as I said, we will use a real-time database. By using that database only, we will learn each and every concepts by solving examples. Everything we are going to learn very practically only in our sessions. Okay, and as you know, the course duration is of 35 days and the course fees is of 3,000. Okay, so if you are interested, please get registered with us. As you attended to today's demo, you can see in chat box, I mean in Zoom chat also, they provided the details. As you attended today's session, you will get emails from our team. You can just follow the process whatever mentioned in that. Okay, if you still have any other questions, you can just ask me about the course,
So,
about the course content. Yes, Prashant.
And related to fee, we need to discuss with DURGASOFT team. Is it?
Yes, you need to contact them.
So, and are there any chances, means post 6 months, to get these results, if it's possible?
Sorry, please repeat your question.
So, means the recorded videos will be there for 6 months only, you as you mentioned, correct?
Correct.
So,
You will get
is
the
there
access
any?
of.
So, if you want that for the lifetime, is it possible to get it access?
We can discuss that going forward. For now, you will get the access of 6 months with DurgaSoft.
Okay.
Okay. And notes,
So,
whatever I will upload, you can just use that notes also. Yes, Prashant, you are asking something else.
one more thing, like means suppose in future after 6 months or one year, if you wanted to
Mhm.
practice again
Okay.
this queries, so because the thing is that we will not get a chance every time. We will not get a chance to work on the SQL project. Sometimes some project differs. There
I
will be no
understood.
opportunity for that.
I
Yeah.
understood.
Suppose I wanted to practice after 1 year. Some of the
Mhm.
concept I need to brush up over there. Okay. In that case,
Correct.
we will have that access to these databases further?
This database is nothing but, as I said, this is just a. This is not a live database. First of all, this is a real-time
Hmm.
database, which we will. I mean, normally normal databases for using, as I said, only for the first few concepts, first 3 4 concepts. I will show you how to create the database, how to create the tables, how to insert the data, everything. And whatever database we are going to discuss, this movies database, we are having so many tables in it. We are having some real data in it. Okay, so for example,
I got your point, but the thing is that later,
yes,
Mr. This
yes, that
databases
is
is do
what.
we?
So this
Uh,
database I will give you directly. You can save this database. I will show you how to, use this database. Obviously, each and every example we will going to perform, or we will going to use on this database only. No, then obviously you should have this database to for your practice purpose. Correct?
yeah, correct. In the later time, means after 1 year or 6 months.
No. Of course, that is what I will give you directly this database, right? You can just save in your laptops and you can just keep it for forever. This database I will give you, obviously.
Okay.
Initially only. Once we are done with this in the course content, whatever you saw, once we are done with this integrity constraints concept, I will give you this database. You can download and I will show you how to, just restore or how to use this database in your systems. From there only our main concepts will start, and so that whenever you get time, you can practice this concept, this examples, whatever I'll explain by using this database only. And going forward also, as I will give you completely, you can keep that database with you.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
About the recording live session videos, we are just giving the 6 months access for now, and going forward I can tell you how to access them, maybe permanently. Okay.
Sure, ma'am. Yeah.
All right. Is there any questions for anyone?
One more thing, ma'am. So
Yes, please.
throughout this course, the timing will be same. There will be no changes in the time.
No changes. No changes in the
And
times.
what
8 p.m. to
one more.
9 p.m. IST.
Okay, and
Complete.
any certain things like minimum these many students should join or attend the class. In that case, we can move ahead with the class because I can see the
Uh,
students count is less in this session.
it's not like that. We will take demo sessions for 2 days, and we will start. We'll go ahead with this batch. If needed, after 1 week, some more few students will come and join in this session only. Usually we will plan for an add-on batch. That add-on batch will be in other timing, and once I feel that the topics are balanced, we will. This is the main by batch timings that students will come and join here. That is the thing which we will follow regularly, and this is the actual batch. Okay, those students will come and join at 8 o'clock only. No
Yeah,
delays,
reason I'm asking
continuously from day one.
because I'm
Yes.
yeah
Mhm.
I'm having currently having time constraints, so that's why I'm asking because
I
things are
understand.
getting changed in the Durgasoft. They will change timing, so later it will not be
Correct. I
adjustable
know.
for myself.
I know. Before add-on batches also in the first demo class itself, I will say, because again, you will, whenever you are attending, you will just think that this is the timing and right. So you need
Yeah,
to know whether that particular time is suitable for you or not.
yes, sure.
So in my add-on batches also, I will tell in the first demo itself what is next. I mean, after 1 week, what will be the timing kind of thing. So I'll just keep that clarity. And for you people, this is the today only I'm starting this batch, and this is the main batch. 8 to 9 p.m. IST is the timing for the complete batch. Okay. Any other question,
Okay.
guys? Pooja, you can go ahead and ask your question. Once you're done with your question, we can end the session.
Regarding the timings only, I was having the main questions, ma'am. The timings won't be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this timing comfortable for you?
Yes, this is comfortable for me.
Okay.
The time zone I'm in.
Yeah, the same timing, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. IST. Okay. Any other question, guys? Anyone else? If everything is clear, I will end the session today and let's meet in tomorrow's session with the same link. I hope everything is clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Great. Let's meet in tomorrow's class. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. All right. Bye bye. Thank you.